So here's what I want to talk to you about tonight. And if you're a note taker, first of all, I want to make sure that you grab yourself a pen, a notepad, or something, because I just want to impart one simple idea with you tonight. And so here's what I've come to the realization. Most of us have some kind of big dream, something that we're pursuing. And I don't know what that thing is for you. Maybe perhaps for you, you've been on this journey. You've been going through this process. You keep talking about how you're going to lose this weight once and once for all. You've been trying to shed off those 10 pounds, those 15 pounds, or maybe you're trying to lose a little more weight than that. Or maybe perhaps for you, things that got a little out of control and you have found yourself in some significant debt. And so you've run up a credit card bill, or you're dealing with some student loans. You're dealing with some debt and some things, and you would really like to eliminate the debt. But when you look at the amount of debt that you have, it's overwhelming, and you're saying to yourself, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Or maybe perhaps for you, you have been on this journey now, in this process of trying to figure out how you can start your own business, or you've been trying to sort of break a ceiling. You have your business now. You've been consistently been able to make 80,000, maybe perhaps 100,000 in your business. And you're just simply looking at how can you just raise the bar and just get to the next level. Or maybe perhaps for you, you've been going from one toxic relationship to another, and you just been trying to find that one solid relationship that you can give your all, that you can be vulnerable, that you know that you can have somebody that absolutely has your back. And as you look at those goals, as you look at those things that you want to make happen, sometimes when you look at them and you look at the big overall grand scheme of things and everything that you believe that you have to do to be able to realize your goals and your dreams, here's what you come to a realization that it seems in many ways to be a little bit overwhelming. And oftentimes you ask yourself the question, well, where do I start? Like, how do I start? I mean, I've got all this debt, or, I am literally in this situation where I'm trying to lose this weight, or maybe perhaps I am trying to get to this next level in my business, but I just don't know where to start. And so I want to impart with you just one simple idea. And what I'm saying to you is, as opposed to focusing on all the things that you have to do, what if you just focus on just doing one thing? And I'm not just talking about doing just one core activity, but if you just focus on the power of just one. And so let me help you to understand this. I remember it was a couple years back, I was watching an interview where somebody was interviewing Will Smith. For those of you who know, we're talking about, blockbuster, Hollywood movie star Will Smith, who has been in so many movies, has gotten so many awards, and has really had just really a notable, tremendous career, especially for somebody who just started off in just a sitcom, who's been able to be one of the top-rated actors in Hollywood. And he was just talking about his journey and his process that has made him the type of dedicated actor that he is. And he said that there was one particular summer where his dad came up to him and his siblings, and his dad said, listen, I want you all to build a wall. And he says that, you know what, I want you to build a wall here at this particular building. And Will said that him and his siblings were looking at his dad like, are you crazy? Are you serious right now? What do you mean build a wall? Because first of all, they had never built a wall before. And the other thing is, it just seemed like a daunting, overwhelming task that they would never be able to complete. And he said that once they got past how overwhelming the task appeared to be, once they got past the fact that it appeared to be something that they weren't capable of, he said that there was a shift in their focus. And he said that the major shift that became was that when they stopped focusing on trying to build an entire wall, and all they did was focus on laying one brick down, one at a time, and laying that brick down the best that they can. And after laying down that one brick, then focusing on laying down the next brick. And the reason why I share that with you is, here's what I need you to realize. When it comes to whatever it is that you're looking to make happen for you, sometimes you have to take that one brick approach. You just got to focus on that one thing that you've got to do and knock that out for today. And then tomorrow, focus on doing that again. Some of you right now, the only difference in the distance between you realizing and accomplish whatever your goal is in your business is to just simply have that laser focus of just doing that one thing. So what I'm saying is, as opposed to focusing on the entire sales amount that you're trying to generate for the entire month, what if every day you just focus on just making one sale? if every single day you just focus on making that one phone call? What if every day you just focus on doing that 1 hour worth of exercise? What if every day you just focus on literally every single day you just focus on that one core activity that you know that if you do it consistently every single day, that it's going to move you that much closer to your dreams and your goals? And so what I want you to do is I want you to think about something significant that you're trying to make happen right now, something that you want to do. And I don't know what that thing is for you, but I want you to think about what that thing is. And then I want you to just think about one activity that you need to focus on. And so what I'm saying to you is you need to just do one. Just focus on that one core activity. And what I'm asking you is, can you have the level of commitment to do that one thing every single day? And what I'm saying to you is if you're willing to do that one thing every single day with a laser focus, there will be a compounded effect. And guess what? Eventually, you will lose that weight. Eventually, you will get out of debt. Eventually, you will be able to take your business to the next level. And so what I'm saying is there is tremendous power in one. So what is that one key strategy that you need to implement right now into your life, into your business, that is going to get you to the next level? What is that one thing that you need to eliminate from your diet that's going to allow you to start losing that weight? Maybe you've been taking in too much sugar. What is that one core activity? Maybe it might mean getting up and going for a walk every single day for that 1 hour, doing that core activity. What is that one thing? It might mean, for those of you who are trying to write a book, it may mean that you sit down every day for 1 hour and you ensure that you're actually brainstorming, writing, and actually thinking about what you're going to put in that book. There is tremendous power in just doing one. And so oftentimes when we're looking for that formula of success, we want it to be extravagant, where we want someone to give us like a little secret formula. And oftentimes you will be surprised that there is power in simplicity. And the simplicity is in doing those one key activities. So I want you right now to think about what it is that you're looking to do, what it is you're looking to make happen, and what's that one thing that you could do? What's that one new habit that you can implement into your life right now that is going to help you to get to the next level? What is that one bad habit that you can literally eliminate from your life on a daily basis that's going to get you that much closer? What is that one key activity, that one key strategy? What's that one relationship that you need to build on that is going to allow you to take your life to the next level? You know, one of the things that I tell people all the time, specifically when they're, well, you know, both myself and my wife, even though that we're speakers and we're coaches, we're always engaged in the process of enrolling in personal development seminars and workshops, and also ourselves getting coaching from other people who are perhaps operating at a different level than us, or even perhaps have one particular area that they have expertise in. And one of the things that I tell people all the time who are going through coaching programs, because myself, I have personally enrolled in so many coaching programs. I have gone through so many audio tapes and CDs and so forth. And my goal every single time, no matter if I go through a weekend seminar, a weekend workshop, is to just come away with one key strategy, one key thing that I'm going to implement, and I'm going to ensure that I get a return on my investment. And there are so many people that they go through the process. They're always taking in information. They're always taking in data. They're always taking in content. But the issue is they never make the commitment to just apply one key strategy. And oftentimes, all you need is just that one strategy that's going to create a tremendous breakthrough in your life. And so I just think about, it was probably about 2 years ago, I did a what I call a VIP session with somebody who's sort of a colleague and also who I consider to be even a mentor, because there is something that she was doing in her business that was really creating some tremendous results within her business. And so I did a VIP session with her. It's basically where I paid $10,000 so her and I could get in a room together for a couple hours for one day, and I could get just some key strategies. And that particular day, she shared so many powerful strategies with me. And literally, if I took the time to implement all of the strategies that she shared with me, I could be busy for the next 6 months. But my goal, my sole goal, was to just find what was the most compelling strategy, the most compelling technique that she shared with me, and to implement that one thing. And I'm telling you that when I left that session, right away, I just looked at everything that she shared and I just circled one thing, and I decided to implement that one key strategy. Within 3 days of leaving from that particular coaching session with her, within 3 days, that one key session brought me back $7,500. Within a week, it brought me in as a return an additional $5,000. Within a 6-month period, that one key strategy brought me back about $50,000. And the reason why I share that with you is because all I did was focus on one key strategy and implementing that one key technique every single day. And what I'm saying to you is, if you're looking for a breakthrough, if you're looking to get to the next level, stop overwhelming yourself and trying to convince yourself that you need to do A through Z. Stop convincing yourself that you need to do number 1 through 10. And what I'm saying to you is, if you could just literally center down and just try to figure out what's that one key activity that you can implement on a daily basis. And what I'm saying to you is that one key activity will be able to create true transformation and breakthrough for you. As many of you know, I recently launched a Show Up for Your Life book. If you haven't already got a copy of the book, you absolutely want to get a copy of the book. You want to read this book because it's going to transform your life. The title of the book is Show Up for Your Life, 7 Principles to Living an Extraordinary Life. The book is available on Amazon. It's available on Barnes & Noble's online. It's also available on Amazon Kindle. And all you've got to do is just literally go into any of the online platforms, bookstores, and just put in Show Up for Your Life. And you should be able to find the book. And I'm telling you, when you read this book, it's going to transform your life. And many of you hear a voice at the beginning of this call every single week, for those of you who dial in via the conference call line. And the host of the call is Lewis Moyer. And so Lewis is out on the West Coast. I'm located on the East Coast. He's out on the West Coast. And Lewis is very adamant about spreading the Show Up for Your Life movement on the West Coast. And so one day Lewis called me up and he said, "Hey, Andy, listen, man." He said, "Listen, I so believe in the Show Up for Your Life movement. I so believe in the message of people showing up, because there are too many people who are going through life who are just simply living an average life, who are going through life through just literally with this spirit of mediocrity." And he said that, "Man, I had the privilege of reading your book. I am honored that my story is in your book. And I think that I just want to be a catalyst, man. I want to be an instrument in getting this book in more people's hands." And so Lewis said, "Listen, man, let's partner up together. And I want to make a commitment that on a monthly basis that I personally am going to sell at least 50 books." And I said, "Wow, Lewis," I said, "Man, that's pretty awesome, man, that you want to take that as a personal challenge." He said, "Listen, man, I want to do this because I believe that the message in this book is profound, and I just want to ensure that people get the message in." And so absolutely. So Lewis said, "Listen, man, let's arrange a thing where we go ahead and order some of the books from the publisher, get them shipped to me over here on the West Coast, and I'm going to start working on moving those books." And sure enough, like clockwork, Lewis continues to move at a minimum 50 books every single month. And so I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, this is insane. There are authors who themselves personally don't have the capacity to move at least 50 of their books every single month. And so I was trying to figure out, I said, "Man, well, Lewis, how are you doing this? How are you doing this?" And we were having a conversation, and Lewis just talked about just having that focus that every single day he has made a commitment on a daily basis that at a minimum, before his head touches the pillow, that he is going to make sure that he sells at least one book. And most of the time, it results in him selling more than one book. But the personal commitment is that every single day that he's going to be actively involved in a sale. And so a lot of times we look at the end result, right? And we think about, man, how is this person able to produce a certain number? How is this person able to hit this particular threshold? And when we think about possibly, trying to hit those kind of numbers ourselves or make something happen ourselves, we can overwhelm ourselves because we think that, hey, you know what, there's no way I can make it happen. But if we can just have that same type of mindset that Lewis has, and not make it complicated, but say to ourselves, you know what? Today I'm just going to do one. And if I want to push myself to the next level, then I'll see if I can do two. But the power is in just doing one. And then when you wake up the next morning, you say to yourself, today is a new day. And so today I'm just going to do one. And then you do one more that day. And then the next day you wake up and you say, wait a second, today is a new day. So today I'm going to make sure that I just do one. And then you wake up the following day and you say to yourself, I'm just going to do one. There's a gentleman that I heard that was sharing this exact strategy. This gentleman happens to be one of the VPs for a foundation who's responsible for raising money for a very, very popular university. And he was talking about how for this particular university, they secured over $1 billion. They were able to raise over $1 billion to be able to help with the facilities, to be able to give out scholarships, to be able to really empower the school, to be able to really be able to transform the lives of the students. And so at the time when this gentleman was speaking, he was addressing another foundation that had just come off of a great year where they raised $6 million. And so you've got to imagine that even if you've raised $6 million, when you find out that somebody else raised $1 billion, you can be thinking to yourself like, man, that is a tremendous leap. How do you go from 6 million to getting to over 1 billion? And so that can seem very intimidating. And so they were trying to figure out, well, what's the guy's formula? And he said, man, I know you want to hear something fancy and sophisticated, but he says our ideology and what we do every single day with the people who are responsible for getting the phone calls, for cultivating the relationships, for connecting with our donors, he said all we focus on every single day is on just doing one. And he says that everybody on his staff, everybody on his team is focused on just doing one. And he says, here's what I mean by that. Every single day we wake up and we say to ourselves, if we can just connect with one donor and get one donor to make a commitment, a significant commitment to our university. And he says that once we've secured that significant commitment, we don't just rest there. We go to sleep, we wake up, and we come back into the office, and then we make a new commitment to just do one that particular day. And then he says, we go to sleep, we wake up, and we come in the office again, and we make a new commitment before the day is over to just do one. And he says that if you just do one every single day, then what ends up happening is at the end of a work week, it turns into 5 days of just doing one. At the end of a regular week, it turns into 7 days of just doing one. He says at the end of a month, it turns into about 30 days of just doing one. And he says the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing is at the end of the year, it turns into 365 days of just doing one. And the compounded effect of just doing one is what allows you to have breakthrough, massive success. And what I'm saying to you is, I want you to think about something that you want to do right now that you want to accomplish. And what I'm saying is stop overwhelming yourself and focus on just doing one. Just consummating and having one deal go through every single day, to just make sure that you have one powerful conversation on the phone and close somebody to making a commitment every single day, that you just focus every day on just doing that 1 hour worth of exercise every single day. If you could just focus on literally just one thing that you are literally deciding to tackle when it comes to your debt, just making a payment on one particular debt every single day, maybe cutting up a credit card or doing something that's going to break you out of that debt every single day. What's that one thing that you can do? And what I'm saying to you is, if you're willing to just do one, if you stop making it complicated, stop trying to focus on doing all these things. And like Stephen Covey would said, you keep the main thing the main thing. Understand that success is a few simple disciplines exercised every single day. And with that level of commitment, with that level of focus, compounded every single day, ultimately, that's what produces the results. That's what creates the weight loss. That is what creates the breakthrough. That is what allows you to write the book. That is what allows you to get to the next position in your company. That is what allows you to start the business. That is what allows you to be able to make tremendous impact, is when you make the commitment every day that I'm just going to do one. And so I want you right now to identify what it is that you need to just do one on. What is that thing? It doesn't need to be sexy. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be difficult. It may just mean that one phone call. It may just mean that 1 hour of writing. It may just mean 1 hour of exercising. It may just mean the 1 hour of tackling your debt. It may just mean 1 hour of personal development. It may just mean 1 hour of spending quality time with your spouse or your children. But what's the one thing that you can do that if you do it every day consistently, compounded, it's going to create a tremendous impact in your life? And it makes me think of Darren Hardy. He's the editor-in-chief of Success Magazine. He has a book by the name of Compound Effect. And he talks about the ripple effect, the compounded effect, that when we do just the most simplistic things repeatedly over time, that it has a compounded effect. And that's what ultimately leads to tremendous breakthrough. And so it goes back to that analogy when I think about Will Smith sharing that story. And he says that, you know what, when they had to build that wall, it was so intimidating. But when they stopped focusing on building the wall, and all they did was think about taking one brick at a time and laying that one brick down the absolute best that they could. And then after laying that brick down, getting the next brick and then laying that brick down. And when we're talking about success, you need to be thinking about whatever it is that you're looking forward to doing, to just simply laying bricks. And you need to focus on laying that one brick down at a time. And sometimes laying the brick means making a phone call. Sometimes laying the brick means scheduling sales calls. Sometimes laying the brick means making sure that you don't go to sleep until you have a sale. Sometimes laying the brick means that you're getting up and exercising. Sometimes laying the brick means that you're spending time to cultivate a relationship. I remember when me and my cousins were teenagers, for some extra money, we were part of an organization called Youth Opportunity Unlimited, YOU. And so we would go into neighborhoods and we would have our boxes with candy. You know, we would have chocolate covered turtles, peanut clusters, and some other things. And we would go into neighborhoods, complete neighborhoods that we had no idea, we didn't know anybody. And we would go and we would knock on doors and we would go in there and just try to sell these boxes of candy. And the boxes of candy retailed for about $4. And every box of candy that we sold, we made $1. And so the key was when we went into these neighborhoods, you know, you wanted to be the person that sold the most amount of items. The reason why is at the end of the day, when you sold your merchandise and you sold these candy, for every candy you sold, you made $1. So if you sold 0 boxes, you made no money. If you sold 20 boxes, you made $20. If you sold 50 boxes, you made $50. And it wasn't that easy going door to door. And there were many a times where people didn't open the door, many a times when people shut the door in our face, many a times when people said no, that they weren't interested, or many a times they said, get out of here. What are you doing knocking on my door? But one of the things that we always tried to do was you wanted to be the top salesperson. Why? Because at the end of the day, we would calculate what everybody earned, and the person who sold the most amount, would get a bonus. And the bonus would be that you would get an extra dollar. You would get an extra $1 for each one of the boxes that you actually sold. And so everybody wanted the bonus because you could double your income. And so I remember every day whenever it was during the summertime, we were on summer break, and we would get dropped off into the neighborhoods, I wanted to be the top seller. And I tell you, every day when I first started off trying to be the top seller, I started to think about, well, who was the top seller the previous day? And so the previous top seller was 47. And I said, oh man, I got to try to do 48. I got to try to sell 48 boxes. And when I put that number in my head, a lot of times it seemed overwhelming. And so after knocking on about 5 doors, 6 doors, and no after no after no, getting to that 40 something just seemed impossible. And every time, that's how I took the approach. I was never, ever the top salesperson. But then when I shift my focus and I said, well, you know what? I'm not going to focus on the end number. I'm not going to focus on what the end number is or focus on what the previous number was for the day. But every single time, I'm just going to focus on selling one box of candy. And once I sell that box, my objective is to sell the next box of candy. And I started to take that approach. When I knock on this door, I just need to sell one. And after I sell that one, I need to knock on enough doors until I sell one more. And so when I took that one approach, sure enough, at the end of the day, I found that my box was empty. And then when it was time to go to the next neighborhood, I had to load back up. And all I did was I said, I got to sell one box of candy. After I sell that one box of candy, I got to knock on enough doors until I sell the next box of candy. And I tell you, I'll never forget that day that I sold the most amount of boxes. Up until that point, I think the most amount of sales was about 47 boxes. And I think that day I sold 63 boxes of candy. And I was blown away when I found out how many boxes of candy I sold. And I had no idea, honestly, had no idea how many I sold. All I was doing was I was just focusing on selling that one candy box at a time. And so what I'm saying to you is that you'll be surprised how you can be able to realize the type of results that you want if you stop overwhelming yourself and if you just focus on one. And so I'm extending an invitation to you right now to stop being focused on building the entire wall. Stop just being focused on getting to the end game and losing the 50 pounds and getting out of all the debt or getting your business to the next 6 figures or whatever it is that you're looking to do. And I'm asking you to just focus on doing one. Just focus on one. There is power in one. And when you focus on doing that one thing and you get that done today, wake up tomorrow morning and then go ahead and focus on that one thing again. And once you knock that out tomorrow, get up the following day and do it one more time. And I'm telling you, if you can do that over and over and over and over and over again, that is what makes champions. That is what produces tremendous results. That is what leads to breakthrough. And that is what's going to allow you to show up for your life and get yourself to the next level. You know, all I need you to do is just focus on just doing one. And you know this wouldn't be Andy Henriquez if I didn't end by telling you this. Show up for your lives, ladies and gentlemen, because if you don't, nobody else will. And let me just tell you, I am so excited. And I thank you all for being a part of Thursday night Show Up for Your Life motivational live stream and conference call. I really, truly hope that as a result of listening to this message, that you're just going to change and create a shift in your mindset. Stop overwhelming yourself. Stop intimidating yourself, and just keep it simple and just focus on the power of just doing one. And if you can do that, that's really what's going to help you to get to that next level. And so, like always, I want to remind you, make sure you get a copy of the book, Show Up for Your Life, 7 Principles to Living an Extraordinary Life. You can get it on Amazon. You can also be able to get a copy of that book through Barnes & Nobles. Just go ahead and do a search, Show Up for Your Life book, or you can go to showupforyourlifebook.com, showupforyourlifebook.com to order your copy of the book. Also, want to remind you, it is available on Kindle for you Kindle fans out there. And I'm telling you, this book is transformational. The strategies that I share in this book and the principles that I share in this book are really principles that if you implement, they're going to help you to get to the next level in your life. You're going to learn how to start trusting the process, because success is truly a process that does not happen overnight. You're going to understand what it means to really be able to put yourself in a position to be unstoppable. You know, when you're going after your goals and your dreams, listen, some things are going to happen, and you've got to tap into that mindset to really, truly be unstoppable and get to that next level. You're going to also understand what it means to really, truly just show up, the importance of having and making sure that you have something that you'll be able to draw from, a compelling why to push you forward, to take you towards your goals and your dreams. These are success principles that if you apply them to your life, that you will in fact be able to produce the results that you want. Get your hands on that book. Get a copy of that book. The other thing is that I wanted to share with you, of course, that we are going to be closing registration within the next 3 days for the 3-month coaching program with myself and my beautiful wife, Coach Kaz. And so if you want to join us in our 3-month Make Your Move coaching program, where we're going to be sharing we're going to be taking you through 6 very powerful modules through a 3-month process. We're going to be doing bi-weekly coaching calls that is really designed to help people who are either who have a business idea, that are looking to launch the business, or are in business but are hoping to sort of get to that next level. And so we're going to be helping lay the foundation to help you to start your business or get it to the next level. And so you don't want to miss this opportunity. We only typically open up registration 2 times. This is the last time that we're opening registration this year. The next time that we open up registration will be next year. So what I'm saying is, have a sense of urgency. If you're serious about ending this year strong and realizing your goals and your dreams, you want to join us for this 3-month coaching program so that we can have a conversation on what this 3-month coaching program entails and what the investment and the commitment is. All you have to do is go to yourpowercouple.com. Once again, that is yourpowercouple.com. Fill out the very quick application, take you less than 1 minute, and you'll be contacted from our assistant in the office, and either myself or my wife, Coach Kaz, will get on the phone with you and give you the details for the coaching program so that you have enough information to make a decision as to whether or not you're going to join us in this 3-month coaching program. Once again, that is yourpowercouple.com. And just to clarify this, yes, there is an investment for you to join us in this coaching program. And so, as we said, one of the best investments that you can make is in yourself. So this is for the person that understands that if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you want to create a breakthrough in your life, you need to do something different. And so oftentimes you need somebody else who's going to guide you through the process, hold you accountable, share things with you that perhaps you haven't been able to see for yourself, and push you through a process that's going to help you to get to the next level. And so once again, you're going to go to yourpowercouple.com, yourpowercouple.com, so that we'll be able to connect with you and give you the details for that before registration closes. And so with that being said, of course, I'm going to use this time right now to open up the lines. I'm going to take 1 or 2 quick questions or comments via the conference call line. For those of you who are listening via the live stream, I want to remind you that you can connect with me in our private Facebook group. And so if you're in Facebook, you can go to Facebook and type in Show Up For Your Life. Show Up For Your Life. You're going to find our closed group. Once you find the closed group, send us an invitation to join the group. And we will gladly accept you into the group. And that's sort of our online community. Or you can open up a separate web browser. And all participants are muted. Or you can unmute themselves. Or you can open up a separate web browser and just type in Show Up Group, showupgroup.com. And that'll be a shortcut to take